It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's coming up next.
We're looking live at a beautiful fly-in to Everbank Field in Jacksonville. Even if you close your eyes, Brock, you'd still know exactly where you were by the rallying cry of the Jaguar faithful in the stands. Up in the booth alongside Brock Ewart, I'm Kate Scott, and we are grateful to be up here today because, well, it's been raining pretty heavily all day, and that's certainly going to make it challenging to operate if you're either one of these offenses, Brock.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, Kate. Now, hopefully you practiced this week knowing some rain was in the forecast. Hopefully everybody on the sidelines, the umpire on the field, and all the footballs they will use today shuttling in and out, you can have that grip. And I'll also say this, keep an eye on the gloves. That technology helps these players in these environments more than certainly players of the past. Quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, everybody got to handle that ball carefully today.
Cam Little out for the opening kick. And we're off from Jacksonville. It's Brandon Powell with the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. After that return, he's looking pretty banged up out there. We're going to have a stoppage as team personnel comes out to look at him. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Throwing to start this game. Jones reels it in. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Kadluma there to bring him down.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. First carry here for Aaron Jones. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Stopped that time by Antonio Johnson. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And that leaves them with 4th and 5. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out to former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. A national champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great and you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
They bring Thomas in motion. Here we go, 2nd and 9. Pass brought in by Parker Washington. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Before the snap, some early movement. Let's see which side gets tagged with a penalty.
Encroachment, defense.
Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage.
Still first down.
Now talk about a golden opportunity at an immediate first down following that encroachment flag. They'll run here following the penalty. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now it's a bootleg for him. Connects on the crosser. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
1st and 10, it's Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Washington. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Now toss it to Etienne. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he's able to get this down to the 13. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He's got it. And this is down all the way to the 3.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Lawrence working from the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars have a great first drive and get the game's first points. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Cam Little to try the extra point. Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And the Jaguars will jump out to a 7-0 lead. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Ty Chandler to return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Minnesota all set to go for its second drive. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening first down as they take the field a second time. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Off the play fake, he'll throw. He fires one deep down the right sideline. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's a major missed opportunity for the offense and a sigh of relief for the defense. They got to adjust a little bit, get some extra help on the back end of your defense to take those shots away.
Throw on 3rd down. Forced out to his right. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
You know, when we watch Combine each and every single year, I hope you get good enough to understand as a football fan, watch the big guys' first 10 yards. Don't watch the ends and the linemen run 40. Watch their first 10, because that's the most critical. And that defensive end showed you right there the kind of explosive burst in the first few yards to get home for the big sack.
Minnesota lined up in punt formation. Out to return this for the Jaguars, Devin Duvernay. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. And hey, at least he held onto the football, but they will get nothing on that return. So no return on that punt. And it'll be Jaguars football. 2nd drive of the game upcoming for this Jaguar offense. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their 2nd possession.
And Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to.
And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the 1st quarter. Neither side separating much so far. Back to Everbank Stadium in just a bit. Back for the 2nd quarter. It's Jaguar football. They start with 2nd and 6. From the 34. It's caught. This is Gabe Davis. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
ETN gets it on the draw. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
This offense will take that from their ground game every time. But I know, because I've been around this league a long time, runs like that, they're really hard to come by. It takes everybody. And maybe a little breakdown there on defense, too, to take advantage of.
New set of downs for him from the 46. On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Escapes the pocket. He's going to keep it this time. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
You know, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Flushed out of the pocket. And he will score! Touchdown, Jacksonville! The Jaguars get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. Trevor Lawrence with the touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, Turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist, and you got to be an artist that can create when things break down, and that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Powell now to return. Returns looking good so far. And he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
So good field position to start with for the Vikings this drive. 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Completed over the middle. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup.
I feel so bad, I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you, well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
From the 47. Can't connect over the middle, it's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it's 3rd down.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Throwing here, Darnold. Able to find Jones. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
1st and 10 from the 41. Counterplay, Jones. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
From the 32. Heaves this one for the back of the end zone. This is caught. Looks like he stayed in bounds, too. Great work. Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space to work with, yet they have such an awareness to secure it first, to tap dance the line, and go get that touchdown.
Now it's Will Reichert on for the extra point. Got a good plant in the rain there. The extra point flies through. And the Vikings chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Here's Parker Washington with the return. He's got a lane up past the 30. Great vision, gets him across midfield. And he'll go out of bounds after getting it all the way down inside the kicking team's 45. The Jacksonville offense back on the field now. They have played lights out on offense. Scored their first 2 times out, Brock. A chance to go 3 for 3 and grow that lead here. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a give to Etienne. He's contained at the line for no gain. Ivan Pace able to make the stop. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. They go right back to Etienne. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop it behind the line.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Send everybody deep. I know he wants to wait and stretch the field and use his arm. The trouble is, you wait too long, you end up on your back.
On 4th down, it's Logan Cook on for the Jaguars to punt it away. And he drives this one into the pouring rain. Brings it in at the 12. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. Nice kick there. It's a punt of 53 yards. And the Vikings are going to take over from deep in their own side. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Running right, this is Jones. And he'll only find 1 yard up the gut, 2nd down.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
We're at the 2-minute warning now from Everbank. It's the Vikings, who have it 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Into the hands of Jefferson, complete. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Vikings out of the hurry-up, need everyone back to the line. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Vikings out of the hurry-up, need everyone back to the line. To throw, here's Darnold. Has the connection to Jones. And he gets him around 6 there. Darnell Savage brings that to an end. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 39. Buys time, rolling. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. Minnesota spends its 2nd timeout here. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. And it's a nickel set from the Jags on this 3rd down. Here's Darnold to throw. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
Searches from the pocket. Jones reels it in. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Stopped by Foye Oluokun.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. But one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
So from a mile away, they'll send out the field goal unit to take a shot at this one. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. Online, but not enough juice. It's no good short. And the deficit stays at 7.
Hey, listen, I know kickers are arguably better today than they've ever been in the history of football. But anything from 60+ is still awfully ambitious. And that time, it didn't pan out.
One last play before the break. One final shot before halftime. A massive shot towards the end zone. And he swats that deep shot away, but he better not celebrate just yet. Looks like his contact drew a flag. They may still get this yardage. So halftime has to wait one more snap. That pass interference call means we've got an untimed down coming up. The kick by Shudak is good. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game. So we're halfway through this contest from Jacksonville. The hometown Jaguars out in front. Now we'll send you down I-95 a couple hours to Orlando, depending on traffic. And we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports halftime report. In the first half, we saw a strong outing from Trevor Lawrence. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Washington now to return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Jacksonville has its offense out there to start this third quarter. They managed 3 on their last drive, but down inside the red zone, disappointing not to come away with a touchdown. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Etienne to begin the drive. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Etienne again. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. Just a couple on the pickup there, so back-to-back runs leave him with a 3rd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up fourth down.
That right there, that is a small step toward a big objective, and that's overcoming, Kate, a 2-score deficit in the second half. Fortunately, well, this game isn't close to being out of hand yet. We got to learn that lesson in the NFL. Anything can happen. There's still plenty of time to get that lead back, especially if they keep making impact plays like that one on third down.
Jacksonville in punt formation. And he drives this into the pouring rain. Collects this at the 35. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it's going to be Vikings football. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. They left a few on the table there last time out, Brock, settling for a field goal try that missed the mark. So good field position to start with for the Vikings this drive. 1st and 10. They give to Jones, right side. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Staying on the ground with Jones. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. He didn't get anything on that run, so struggles on the ground, leaving them with 3rd and long. Empty backfield now. The running back motions out left. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get it up to the 44.
That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
The Vikings getting their punt team out. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. That punt goes unanswered, no return there. And the Jaguars are going to take over from deep in their own side. They're out and set, 1st and 10. From the gun, ETN gets it. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Ivan Pace able to make the stop. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Now Lawrence on the play fake. Here's pressure, and he's dropped by the Vikings. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Well, partner, I think this defense had enough. This QB has been getting out of the pocket and doing damage with his legs. But not this time. Great pursuit, great effort, and they're able to wrap him up for the sack.
Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Lawrence. ETN on the catch. And this one does not go far.
It's plays like that, Kate, right, wrong, where I sit and judge a defense. I judge the awareness. I judge how well that coordinator's got him equipped to see what's going on the field, and not just see it, but attack it. And they devoured that screen game on 3rd down.
The Jaguars into punt formation. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That punt goes 63 yards. And they'll get ready to go on offense. The Vikings taking the field on offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. So good field position to start with for the Vikings this drive. 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Jones. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Devin Lloyd on the tackle. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. He was looking for T.J. Hawkinson, so they're left facing 3rd and long. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
That is quarterback play 101. Maybe not the first chapter of it, but man, is that important. Getting downfield, get what you can with your legs, then most importantly, protect yourself. Get down and don't take any extra contact.
They'll send out the punting unit. Ryan Wright's the one to send it away. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. So this one flies out. No return from him, and they're putting the ball right at the 40-yard line. Jacksonville heading out there on offense. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. The Jaguars in a good starting spot for this drive. Coming up, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection. Brian Thomas Jr., his intended target. So it's 2nd down coming up.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. They'll cobble together a yard there. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. Only a yard from that time, so now 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He's on the move. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Lawrence now off the play action. Escapes the pocket. He calls his own number again. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a 1st. Well, the defense is really buckled down. That was a scoreless 3rd quarter for us. It's Jaguars football with a slight lead. Just got to hang on to it for one final quarter. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here. Brought in close to the 8. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And that gives them 1st and goal.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
From the red zone now. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown! The Jaguars can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Now we'll pause. The officials want to take a good look at this and confirm it was indeed a touchdown. Well, this right here is where having all those camera angles comes into play. We're going to get a much clearer picture thanks to all the shots we've got.
Yep, technology, everybody's friend right now. We get to watch it again and again. Unlike these officials, who got to see it once in real time. We just have to see, is there clear enough evidence to overturn the call that was made down there on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
All right, so wipe the touchdown away. He did not make the catch. Trying again from the 2. It's 2nd and goal. Here's Lawrence to throw. Escapes out to the left. And he scores. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. Trevor Lawrence with the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
Little tax on the extra point. And the Jaguars take a 3-possession lead. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Chandler now on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Vikings now set to take the field. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun. Caught quickly on the slant. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 36. Dumps it off to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get him enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Darnold looking to throw. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. They'll throw it again. Gets it to him on the screen. And he's brought down after a short gain.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and the defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Darnold now to throw. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? We chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And he takes it in for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings get it back to within 2 possessions. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
One after try good by Reichert. And the Vikings cut the lead down to 10.
Vikings 14.
That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Here's Duvernay on the return. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. And he gets him into a good spot, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40-yard line. The Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence set to take over on offense once again. And his effectiveness hasn't been limited to what he can do with his arm this season. On that last drive, he reached a significant mark for his efforts on the ground as well. The Jaguars in a good starting spot for this drive. Coming up, 1st and 10. He'll give this up the middle to ETN. And he'll get it up to the 44. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
On 2nd down, it's ETN. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
It's 3rd and 1.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. On the run, it's ETN. And this defense continuing to erase the ground game. This one stopped at the line. They stop him just short and force a 4th and 1.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Punting unit out now. Logan Cook, the one to kick it away. He gets it away, but nothing on that one. Oh, this is awful. Headed towards the sideline. This punt out of bounds on the fly. We're waiting for the mark. Looks like they're going to say it's short of the 30. The Vikings offense back to the field now. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Throwing from the gun here. He'll get this to Jefferson. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
Getting it, trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do get home that side.
He's on the move. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And back-to-back takedowns behind the line of scrimmage set him up now with third down.
Some squads you just see love to do this, Kate, and I've got so much respect for defensive coordinators who late in the game, instead of playing prevent, well, they step up the aggression meter. Back-to-back sacks puts this offense and this quarterback way off schedule.
Has the connection to Hawkinson. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
Here he goes. Got to have this on fourth down. Stays in the pocket. Throw is caught by the back. And he gets a gain of 9, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Running it here with ETN. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. First down, ball at the 36. They give up the gut to Bigsby. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. Minnesota spends its second time out here. And they'll have just one left to burn now. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's a give to ETN. And he found a gap to take this down to the 28. Now the Vikings use their third and final timeout. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call's going to be on third down. Now it's Lawrence. And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down.
You know, these third and short situations, you rep them all the time. Snap after snap, rep after rep. You're expecting man-to-man coverage in that down and distance, and you're expecting to execute. That time on third and short, they can't get the job done.
He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. They hit him for 5 yards on 4th down and get the successful conversion.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure that drives right on them. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
The Jaguars kneeling out the rest of this victory.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So the Jaguars come away with the win in this one. And we know how rain can wreak havoc at any moment on a football field, but they didn't let that stop them today. They played their game, and as a result, they're leaving here with a victory. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It's a win for the Jaguars as we bid farewell from Jacksonville.